Just want to give a quick shout out to Dusty Smith before we get the deep trench going on today. Um, Much love to you, man. Glad that you're back. Glad you give a middle finger to the Scientologists and that you're still doing your thing. I was going to even suggest possibly asking Anonymous to operate on your behalf and maybe have like Operation Dusty Bomb. Head back, because it's one thing for sure. The Anonymous doesn't like Scientologists. So, any of the whom. Let's get on to the show. Quote, women want equality until it requires something, and then suddenly it's unfair. Unquote. Wow, the person who said that must be this huge asshole of a misogynist, right? Well, that's right. This person just so happens to be my wife. And it's not like I'm this huge dominating figure in her life. Actually, she's a very powerful woman. She doesn't play the victim. She realized that her destiny is her own and she can make her life what she wants it to be. She wears the pants in this family. I have no problem even, saying that. She's definitely the more powerful of the two when it comes to at least thoughts and rhetoric. And she makes more money than I do. So obviously this person, my wife, she hasn't been cowed into this thought. No, it's quite the opposite. This is her own original thought towards women and feminism in general. And this is even for me, who is of a different perspective in which I'm more of a feminist. But I respect what she's saying. And that's what's going to lead me into my next point. Because you see, I am still a feminist, I think, to a point. It depends on how you define that word. It's much like what Noel Plum had to say regarding it, is that the word has been so overused and so overapplied that it's lost. It's murky to even use it as a definition, really. So when I say that I'm a feminist, so let me set a clear definition of what I'm talking about when I say that I'm a feminist. When I say I'm a feminist, I realize that there is misogyny out there, that there are men who think, that they are better than women, that women belong in the kitchen, pregnant and barefoot, and that's the only place they belong. But at the same point in time, that's a huge, incredible minority. And and just about everybody I know, when that's said, we either, to a point, yeah, it's kind of a bad thing, because sometimes we kind of laugh it off like it's a joke. But most of us say, hey, dude, that's not cool. That's not fair. That's not right. That's what most of us. That's most of our responses. But even though I'm a feminist, I have huge reservations in light of recent videos by feminists that kind of portray some things that I'm going to go over now. And the first thing is that I am not a rapist. I don't support rape. I don't like rape. I don't rape other people. I never have. I never will. And I know this is an admission and maybe something I have to prove. So either you can take it on the face value. Either you accept it or not. And I don't blame you if you don't accept it. But as a kid, I was sexually molested by a female. Actually, two different females. And so you can just throw that out if you want, but I'm just throwing that out there that, it does happen. Women taking advantage of males. Let's not be blind to that. Also, I'm not going to accept this false dichotomy that's being offered to me by some feminists, that if I don't accept that I am a dirtbag, scummy, no good, potential want to rapist, then I'm somehow some kind of what was the word that was exactly used? Creep. That was the exact word. And then that's kind of this, to a point, this mob boss mentality, where, hey, you better be doing what we're saying. You better accept what we're offering. Otherwise, X is going to happen. And that's kind of the position I feel like I'm in. It's like, well, if I accept what the feminists are saying, then I'm accepting that I'm a scummy dirtbag rapist, or something with that kind of thoughts, which really it's never happened. I've never had the thought to rape somebody. I've never had a thought, well, I'm going to forcibly stick my penis into her. That thought has never entered my mind before, in any way. So I could falsely say that. I could lie to you and say that yes, I had it, and then you'll think, okay, well, now I'm okay to associate with, because I've admitted that I'm this creepy motherfucker. But if I don't, I am still a creepy motherfucker. It's like you can't win in the feminist mind. If you have a penis, and in the feminist mindset, you can't win. You are bad and evil, is what is being communicated to me recently in recent videos that I've watched. And yeah, that's a big reason for me to have some reservations. That's kind of fucking scary. And just a second quick note is that, feminism has been going on now for a very long time, 40 years. The women's rights movement, all for that. I'm all for women's rights and empowering women and all that. But to say that men didn't have a hand in getting women those rights is just stupid. And now I'm wondering, it kind of brings up to that 9 Inch Nails song, biting the hand that feeds you. Why would you do that? Because this is insulting. You're saying I'm inherently evil and dishonest, and the people who have been helping you the last, 40 years or longer, that they are dirty scumbag motherfuckers too. So, there's still, in my opinion, a length to go to achieve equality on the women's side to make things right. So why would all of a sudden you now just, gnarl on the hand that's helped you so far? Because only men who, have no self-respect are actually going to continue to stay by your side. I know I, for one, now have my extreme reservations, and I don't know if I really want to support a feminist movement if that's what they're delivering to me. That's, like I said, that's kind of scary. So why would you go around and do that? Especially with the whole atheism conventions, with wanting to have rules that flatly state, rape is not allowed at the convention. You didn't have to fucking tell me that. That's insulting even that you think you have to even tell me that. So I just don't get it. Why would you push away people who would potentially help you in other issues, other matters? And you're like blowing up this one issue completely, as if rape was actually happening at conventions, or rape threats actually were happening at conventions, which I still, to this day, I haven't seen any evidence of, that this has ever happened. So you're blowing up this one huge issue that doesn't actually even fucking exist. But you have other issues that are real, that need to be worked on. And the people who would potentially help you basically, bit in their hands, so why should they help you? I don't get the logic. And the next thing I want to address is that the patriarchy does not exist. If the patriarchy did exist, women they'd fight all wars. Men wouldn't even be in uniform. They wouldn't be allowed to even, you know, join the military. It'd be an all-women force. You'd still not have the right to vote, so you'd have to go out and die on battlefields and, have no say over the government. Rape would be legal. It'd be legal for a man to rape a woman if the patriarchy really did exist. And likewise, rape would be illegal for a woman to rape a man. But at least when it applies to this thought is that it's a saying. It's kind of a joke, but it's not illegal if you don't. It's not illegal if you don't get caught. And that's exactly what we have right now. We have this switched role where basically it is legal for a woman to rape a man, but it's illegal for a man to rape a woman. That's the way we have it right now. And if the patriarchy really did exist, that would be directly reversed. And the same thing goes with women molesting boys. That would be, if the patriarchy existed, that would be considered incredibly heinous, just mind-blowingly out of this world. And men molesting girls would be tolerable. It'd be like, oh, well, that's okay. He's just a man. But again, we have this exact role switched. We have, whenever a man is caught molesting a girl, or a man is caught molesting anybody, boy too, it's this huge blow up. It's this holy shit, everybody, condemnation. And rightfully so, because, adults shouldn't be molesting any children, any adults. That's my position. But, the reverse is actually tolerable. We find out women teachers who are having sex with students, or, and all this crap. And generally it's laughed off. Some don't even get a trial. They're not even brought to court. They're not even arrested for their conduct. Some even keep their jobs. I mean, seriously? This is a patriarchy? Conversely, though, I wouldn't even say, though, that we live in a matriarchy, though I could, using typical feminist logic. I could say that because, you see, women can get away with molesting little boys, and women, if they wanted to, could get away with raping a man. So therefore, apparently, we obviously live in a matriarchy, right? So you can cherry pick whatever data you want. You got to look at the overall, all the data, and come to a conclusion. And my position is that there isn't any matriarchy, there isn't any patriarchy. We live in a society where men and women live and they have conflicts over different things. And that's really all there is to it. I'm not trying to hold you down anymore. I know historically we used to, but in modern society, modern times, no, nobody's trying to hold you down. Go live your life and have happiness and all that. However you can obtain it. And most people will, offer employment and even equal pay to women. Now, is it still a problem? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm down with that. I know it still happens where men will get paid more than a woman who is doing the exact same work, but it's not the majority. It's the vast minority. The vast majority of employers pay exactly the same wage based on just where your position is within the company. Take McDonald's for instance. Man and woman a boy and a girl, a man and a woman working at McDonald's are going to make the same amount of money based on, how long they've worked there, their performance record, and where they started out. And they all start out generally the same. It just depended on really just how much seniority you have, how much time you've put into the company, and how many raises you've gotten for being there so long. That's really the only question at this point. Now, those are my reservations that I have. Um, I'm not willing to go to the whole entire next level where I say, well, I'm not a feminist, because that would require me to, at least as far as I'm concerned, uh, really either lessen or ignore, um, issues as they pertain to women in society. That's what it seems to me. It seems if you're not when I define a feminist, it's like you see a problem with women in society and that they're not being treated fairly, and you want that to be resolved, and you're working to resolve that. So in that sense, yes, I am a feminist. Um, but as defined, like for instance, by Girl Rights What and by a few other anti-feminist females, I agree with them. I don't fit into that feminist as that kind of thing. I don't see the patriarchy, and I've gone over a lot of the things that they've brought up. So I'll leave their links to their videos in the info bar. Check them out. It's really thought-provoking stuff. They use a ton of logic, and most of it can't be easily refuted. Though it's been tried. It's been tried by many feminists to, oh, ha, ha, whatever. It seems like they're just laughing it off when, no, this is serious logic that they're bringing to the table. Much, more well put than anything I will ever make. So it's just credit to the kind of material that they're producing. But anyways, that's it for the Deep Trench this week. Just remember, use logic, and if it doesn't work, halt and re-examine your position like I am right now, because I don't even really know if I'm going to be calling myself a feminist anymore. Because, like I said, the definition is really murky. As I defined it, yeah, I'm a feminist, but who knows, even that could change if I'm continuing to still be called a rapist simply because I have a penis.